So this is the Motorola Dynatec 8000X. It was the first ever cell phone. It came out in 1983 and sold for $3,995. So obviously not a lot of people had it. And after that, more companies started coming out with phones. Motorola came out with a more compact version, cheaper version in 1996. Then Nokia started coming out with one. In 2003, they came out with this phone. I know my first cell phone looked almost exactly like this, and I know a lot of people who had this phone. Also in 2003 was the very first BlackBerry, which was like one of the first smartphones that had like PDA stuff, you could check your email and all of that stuff. Then in 2004, there was the Motorola Razr, and then the BlackBerry Pearl in 2005, that you can't read what it says, but that's the BlackBerry Pearl, which was a more compact version of the BlackBerry, has all the same features. And in 2007, we saw our very first iPhone. And then after that, other companies tried to start basically copying the iPhone and made touch screens and, with all the apps and stuff. And then now today we have, iPhone 25 and Windows Phone, Galaxy, whatever. And so obviously in the past 40 years, cell phone technology has increased, and people often disagree about whether it's helpful or harmful for today's youth. So I'm going to tell you about how it can be helpful, then I'm going to tell you about how it can be harmful, and then I'm going to tell you my opinion. So the increasing cell phone technology can be beneficial for today's youth. When teens are constantly on the go, I just made this schedule up, and I never, before working where I worked, I never would have thought that a schedule could be like that insane. But where I work now, that's almost pretty much how their schedule goes. They're always on the go, and having a cell phone to be able to keep in contact with each other, it makes it so much easier than trying to scramble to tell the school or leave a note or something. Also, when I was a teenager, I had a really, really bad sense of direction. I mean, I still do, but at some point, and I can't remember the amount of times I had to call my mom and be like, "Mom, I don't know where I am. Can you give me directions? I don't know how to get home." And if I didn't have a cell phone, I would have been screwed. And cell phones can also help in dangerous situations. According to ABC News in 2006, a South Carolina girl was held captive in an underground bunker. This is a picture of it, by an accused sex offender, and was rescued because while he was sleeping, she was able to get his cell phone and send out a text message to her mom, and the authorities came and found her. Also, last year, an 18-year-old boy was walking along this harbor right here, like he did almost every morning, when a big wave similar to that came and splashed him into the near freezing water. And when he took those walks, he would put his cell phone in a plastic bag to keep it from getting wet. So while he was treading water in the freezing water, and he was able to get his cell phone out and call 911 before he drowned and got hypothermia or whatever. So now that I've told you about how cell phones can be helpful, I'm going to tell you how they can be harmful. So studies have shown that cell phones can cause multiple health problems. In 2008, researchers from a Swedish academy offered info on sleep disruption that affects teens that frequently use cell phones. They showed that teens that made 15 or more texts or calls in one day showed signs of insomnia and restlessness. Also, too much texting can cause carpal tunnel syndrome. Dr. Aksenchevich said carpal tunnel syndrome results when the median nerve, which extends from the forearm to the hand, becomes compressed at the wrist. So the median nerve is right here, so it goes from like here all the way down your arm, and movements like this, or like texting, typing on a computer, can make it compressed and then your whole hand gets numb and sore. And a 16-year-old girl, this girl, got carpal tunnel in her hand because she was sending out more than 100 texts a day. Cell phone technology also presents major safety issues. According to texting and driving statistics, texting and driving causes 11 teen deaths every day and accounts for 25% of all car accidents. Early last year, an 18-year-old girl was driving home from college to visit her parents, and she was going nearly 80 miles an hour when she rear-ended a large semi and was killed instantly. Moments before, she was engaged in a Facebook conversation with her friends where she said, "I can't discuss this now. Facebooking and driving is not safe, ha ha." So now that I've given you the pros and cons of cell phone technology, I'm going to give you my opinion on it. So I can see both sides of the argument that there's many reasons why cell phones are useful, but also why they're harmful. Like I mentioned in the pros section, cell phones are really convenient. This is an actual picture of the kids that I nanny for scheduled a couple of days of their schedule, and so as you can see, it's kind of crazy. So I know that like green is for James, orange is for Catherine. It's got the times. I have this on my cell phone. They both have it on their cell phones, and their mom has it on their cell phone. She can update it from her computer or her phone, and it'll update it on all of our phones. So it makes it a lot easier for us to know what's going on, who's picking up who, and all of that stuff. Also for phone numbers, I wouldn't know anybody's phone number if it wasn't in my phone. On the other hand, cell phones are extremely addicting. The kids that I watch, they're 12 and 14, and they're kind of the inspiration behind my speech, and I was telling them what my speech was, and I was sitting there like, yeah, my speech is on technology, cell phones and how it affects teens. And after I finished talking about it, the little girl, Catherine, looks up at me and goes, "What'd you say?" And because she didn't hear anything I said because she was on her phone, and I was like, yep, putting that in my speech. So I explained how the increasing cell phone technology can be helpful, how it can be harmful, and my opinion on the matter. In the world today, technology is going to continue to expand exponentially, and there's always going to be people on both sides of the argument. But I think if technology is used in the right way and not abused, it can change the world.